Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, F1 fans and Lando stans coping hard right now, welcome to the OSCAR Piastri Show, and guess what? We're all just living in it. This man isn't just having a breakout season, he's having a full-blown takeover. 3 wins in 5 races. Meanwhile, Lando Norris, oh buddy, sweet summer child, the man who was supposed to be McLaren's golden boy is out here vibing in the shadow of his own teammate. Let's talk about Saudi Arabia. Q3, Lando had one job, don't bin it. What does he do? Bins it. Oscar puts it P2 like it's just another day at the office. Pressure is real, folks, and Lando's feeling it. Every radio message that sounds just a little more desperate than the last, Oscar's in his head. And now, we're rolling into Miami, where Piastri's walking in with more confidence than Max Verstappen walking into a Red Bull strategy meeting. Speaking of Max, Max, the man's trying. He really is. But that Red Bull? More like Red Bullsht. The car's falling apart faster than Ferrari's race strategy, and Max is out here dragging it to podiums like a one-man salvage operation. But even he's looking over his shoulder now because Oscar's coming, and he's coming fast. So buckle up, because this season isn't just about Verstappen dominance anymore. It's about Oscar Piastri announcing himself as F1's next superstar, and everyone else scrambling to keep up. Lando's choking, Max's car's crumbling, and Oscar, he's just getting started. Alright, strap in folks, because we're about to dive deep into why Oscar Piastri isn't just winning races, he's completely dismantling the F1 hierarchy in ways we haven't seen since young Max Verstappen arrived on the scene. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth McLaren doesn't want to admit. Lando Norris is getting absolutely schooled by his younger teammate. Remember when Lando was the golden boy, the plucky Brit carrying McLaren on his back? Those days are gone. Now he's getting out-qualified, out-raced, and outsmarted week after week. That Q3 crash in Saudi Arabia, that wasn't bad luck. That was a driver crumbling under the pressure of realizing he's no longer the top dog in his own team. Meanwhile, over at Ferrari, oh boy, Charles Leclerc thought this was finally his year, but instead he's watching Piastri do what Ferrari wishes they could, actually convert pace into wins. How many strategic masterclasses has Ferrari botched this season already? 2? 3? Meanwhile, Piastri's over there making McLaren's strategy team look like geniuses, when we all know they're the same crew that used to put Lando on hard tires in damp conditions. Let's break down Oscar's season in painful detail for all the doubters. Pre-season testing was our first clue something special was happening. While Mercedes and Ferrari were sandbagging, or so they claimed, Piastri was putting in laps so consistent you'd think he was a robot. Lando, already making excuses about needing more time to understand the car. Melbourne should have been win 1, started P2, was running away with it until that freak grass incident. China was where the tide truly turned. That sprint race P2 was impressive, but the Sunday drive, absolute masterclass. While Leclerc was busy arguing with his engineer about tire temps, Piastri was clinically dismantling the field. Japan showed us 2 things. 1, Max is still Max when his car works, and 2, Piastri is now clearly the second best driver on the grid. Bahrain was the real eye-opener. McLaren won 2, but look at the lap times. Piastri was managing the race like a 10-year veteran, while Lando sounded like he was driving on ice. The rear's unpredictable, he says. Meanwhile, Oscar's like, car feels great, let's push for fastest lap. Same machinery, completely different experiences. That's talent, folks. Saudi Arabia was supposed to be Lando's bounce-back race. Instead, Q3 shunt that had McLaren mechanics crying. Then the race, Piastri attacking Max at the start like he wasn't intimidated at all, while Lando's busy fighting for P7 with an Alpine. When Max got that penalty, Oscar didn't just inherit the win, he earned it with pace that would make Prime Schumacher nod in approval. Now, let's talk about what this means for the rest of the grid. Ferrari should be terrified. They've got 2 proven race winners and they're getting shown up by a kid in his 3rd season. Every time Piastri wins, it's another reminder of how badly Ferrari has mismanaged their talent. Mercedes, Russell's doing okay, but Hamilton's replacement better be ready, because the benchmark for young drivers just got raised to Piastri levels. And Red Bull, don't think we haven't noticed how often Christian Horner is suddenly talking about exciting young talent. They know what's coming. The most frightening part, Piastri's still improving. His racecraft gets sharper every weekend. His time management is now best on grid. His qualifying pace, brutal. And that icy cool demeanor under pressure, that's championship material. Meanwhile, Lando's over there looking like he's aged 5 years in 5 races. The radio messages are getting more desperate. The body language says it all. He came into this season thinking it was finally his year, and instead he's playing second fiddle to his younger teammate. And Ferrari, every Piastri win is another reminder of how far they've fallen. All that budget, all that heritage, and they're getting routinely outclassed by a team that was midfield just 2 years ago. The verdict? We're witnessing the arrival of F1's next dominant force. 3 wins in 5 races isn't a fluke, it's a warning shot to the entire grid. The Piastri era has begun, and everyone else is just living in it. Okay, listen up, because we need to talk about whether anyone can actually stop Oscar Piastri right now. Let's start with Lando Norris. Let's not forget, this guy isn't some rookie who lucked into a good car. He's been battling against Carlos Sainz, went up against Daniel Ricciardo before Red Bull decided to destroy Daniel's career and came out looking strong. Lando knows he's got the best car on grid right now, and he's not just going to let Oscar run away with this championship without a fight. Sure, the start of this season has been rough for Lando. That Q3 crash in Saudi was painful to watch, and he's definitely feeling the pressure seeing Oscar win 3 out of 5 races. But Miami's coming up next, and if there's one track where Lando can turn this around, it's Miami. Remember last year? That's where McLaren brought their big upgrades and suddenly became proper title contender. Lando loves this track. He's fast here, and if there's any place for him to reset his season, it's Miami. He just needs to stop making those small mistakes that keep costing him. Now, let's talk Max Verstappen, because we can never count out the 4-time world champion, even if Red Bull's car is currently about as reliable as Ferrari's strategy calls. Max is still Max. That pole in Saudi proved he can drag performance out of that car that shouldn't be possible. And let's be real, Red Bull isn't going to stay slow forever. They've got big upgrades coming, and when those arrive, Max will be right back in this fight. The scary thing is, even with a bad car, Max is still managing to be in the mix every race. But here's what's different this year. Oscar isn't scared of Max. When they went wheel to wheel in Saudi, Oscar attacked him like an equal, not like someone who's intimidated by the reigning champion. That's championship mentality right there. Last year, Lando would sometimes back out of fights with Max, but Oscar, no chance. He's going for it every time. What about the rest of the grid? George Russell's got what's probably the second best car. But does anyone really see George winning a championship against Max, Oscar, and Lando? I don't. He's quick, but he's missing that extra something. Charles Leclerc knows how to fight Max. We saw that in 2022, but Ferrari's car just isn't there yet. That podium in Saudi was more luck than pace. And Louis? Still trying to figure out that Ferrari like it's his first day in F1 all over again. Right now, if anyone's going to challenge Oscar, it's got to be Lando getting his act together or Max getting a better car. Everyone else is too far behind, but this is F1. Things change fast. Upgrades come, form shifts, and one bad weekend can change everything. Miami is going to be huge if Lando can win there. Suddenly this championship looks very different. But if Oscar wins again, then we might be looking at the start of a new era in F1. Alright folks, here's the deal. Oscar Piastri might be leading this championship right now, but the fight is far from over. Miami and Imola are coming up, and guess what? These are strong tracks for both Max and Lando. If Oscar wants to keep that lead, he better bring his A game, because these two aren't going down without a fight. Miami, Lando's playground. He's been quick here before, and you know he's desperate to prove he's still McLaren's top dog. And Max, even in that shaky Red Bull, you can never count him out, especially when he's got a point to prove. Then there's Imola, a track where Max has dominated before. If Red Bull brings those rumored upgrades, this could be where the tide turns. Oscar's been incredible, but F1 changes fast. One bad weekend and suddenly that championship lead doesn't look so safe anymore. So buckle up, because the next few races are going to be absolute fire. Will Oscar hold on? Will Lando finally strike back? Or will Max remind everyone why he's the reigning champ? Only one way to find out. See you all in Miami. Let's go.